As Sir Terry signed off, Ken Bruce began his mid-morning show by paying his own tribute.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the end of an era in daily broadcasting. We shall not see his like again. That old acquaintance will never be forgot.
And so say all of us. BBC News, 4 minutes past 3. More at 4.
Absolutely. Thanks, Fran. The non-stop oldies.
Now, the non-stop oldies, brought to you daily by Steve Wright in the afternoon.
Our great friend and colleague Sir Terry Wogan has hosted his last Radio 2 breakfast show today after 27 years presenting the programme. As the programme came to an end, the 71-year-old, it says here in BBC News, said, "The years together with you have not only been a pleasure, but a privilege." It was very sad. Gordon Brown, the Prime Minister, paid an on-air tribute to Terry as well, saying he'd shaped the popular imagination of British viewers and listeners. Sir Terry, of course, will begin hosting a new Sunday show from February. And Tim and I saw Terry yesterday. We went and had our little chat with Terry, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we were thinking, memories of Terry's breakfast show. I'll always remember the first breakfast show as well as the show that he did here at Radio 2. When it used to be on Radio 2 back in must have been the 70s or the 80s.
I think it was about 1972, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Fight the Flab, of course.
Yeah, well, that's one of my memories, because I used to get the lift to school with my dad, and you'd listen to Terry Wogan in the car, and of course he would have this feature called Fight the Flab. Very difficult to do in the car, but we used to try and do it.
I know.
Just the upper part, obviously, just our torsos, our upper torsos, but Fight the Flab, I mean, everybody tried to do Fight the Flab at one stage or another, and also used to do Wogan's Wager, didn't he? And my dad loved horse racing, so he used to listen out for that.
Oh, great.
And maybe have a little flutter. I'm not sure how many won, though.
Yeah. I've always loved Terry Wogan on the air, and to get to know him and to be his friend, it really is a privilege, and he's been a great inspiration to us, you know, to all of us.
Oh, I think professionally, a great inspiration and a great motivation for anybody really working in broadcasting, I think. And also, just getting to know him, he's a really lovely guy.
And he always does it with such ease and good humour, and we've got some best bits here. I'll tell you, just before I play a couple of best bits, my favourite of Terry's is when it used to have Jimmy Young in, who used to follow him, and Jimmy Young used to talk about what he's got in his programme. And one day, Terry got the engineers here to wire in a slowing down machine to make everybody's voice sound like that, but only wire it into Jimmy Young's microphone. Took away Jimmy Young's headphones.
So he didn't know.
So he didn't know that he was on the slowing down machine.
Brilliant.
And Terry wasn't. So I would look into the control room and look at Terry, and he would have that Terry Wogan smirk on his face. Like mischievous smirk. Anyway, here's some best of Terry.
Who is this tall lump of lard?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Kenny Everett Show.
Terry Wogan.
That's better.
I'm reporting from a stationary position somewhere on the A40. If you could possibly cling to the wreckage until about 9:30.
Watch me,
I'm
love.
watching, yeah.
You know, watch me. When I finish speaking, you speak.
When it goes quiet, it's my turn. I know, yeah.
Something terrible happened just before I opened the microphone.
It's gone to pieces.
Really, it's hard enough to work under these conditions. Bit of an accident.
Have a very good day. And I'll see you tomorrow between 7:30 and 10 o'clock. I'm going to get an award now.
And this was this morning's sign-off.
We've been through at least a couple of generations together. For many of you, your children, like mine, now have children of their own. And your support for children in need has been consistent and magnificent. You've baked the bakes, you've held the quizzes, you've sold the calendars, you've packed the CDs and the DVDs. You've answered the phones, always there when we've called on you, unheralded and unsung. And if anybody embodies the generous, warm spirit of this country, it's you, my listener. Now, I'm not going to pretend that this is not a sad day. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm going to miss the laughter and the fun of our mornings together. I know you're going to welcome Chris Evans with the same generosity of spirit that you've always shown me. So, I'm going to miss you till we're together again in February. Have a happy Christmas. Thank you. Thank you for being my friend.